All right, let's dive right in. Today we are looking at the astrological forecast for Taurus in 2026. Now, whether you're a Taurus yourself or you're just curious, the material we're digging into tells this really powerful story about moving from challenge to absolute triumph. So let's get into it.
And wow, we are starting with a pretty bold promise, aren't we? The source material doesn't just say it's going to be a good year. No, it's a magnificent one and a major upgrade from 2025. This really sets the stage for a time of reward and fulfillment, which is a huge shift from the challenges of the recent past.
Before we can really appreciate a victory, we kind of have to understand the battle, right? And the source is super clear on this. The brilliance of 2026 was actually forged in the fires of the past. So to really get what's coming, we've got to take a look back at the lessons that paved the way.
So let's start with that journey. This next part lays out a series of really distinct, challenging periods that, according to the forecast, were all designed to build your strength, your wisdom, and your resilience. Think of them less like random roadblocks and more like a cosmic training ground. This timeline really breaks down the last decade into a series of lessons, a lot of them shaped by the, let's say, tough love of Saturn's transits. It all started with some hard relationship teachings from 2011 to 2014. Then it moved into intense financial pressures up until 2017. The years leading into 2020, they were all about testing your faith and dealing with authority. That was followed by some serious career hurdles through early 2023, and then most recently, strains on your income and friendships. But the whole point is that each of these phases was a necessary building block for the growth that's about to pay off.
So this massive tide of good fortune didn't just turn overnight on January 1st, 2026. The source actually tells us that the momentum for this magnificent year started building around June of 2025. That was the moment the energetic winds really began to change direction, and all that past hard work started to show its first little green shoots.
Okay, so what did this shift actually look like on the ground? Well, the forecast says that negative influences and maybe some detractors started to lose their grip. At the same time, career income started to climb, and a stronger spiritual connection, that gut feeling, your intuition, it all started getting stronger. And yeah, there might have been some lingering intensity around your home and property, but that immense pressure from Saturn's lessons was finally starting to ease up, clearing the path for 2026. And that brings us to the main event. We've seen the journey, now let's explore the destination. The forecast for 2026 is all about reaping the rewards of a decade of hard-earned lessons.
I love this because it just illustrates the transformation so perfectly. You can see a direct line here. Those past financial and career hurdles, they're being replaced by rising income and career elevation. All the relationship difficulties, they evolve into happiness and love and family. Social stress gives way to supportive friendships, and those tests of faith are rewarded with spiritual protection and this real sense of inner calm. It's a complete 180. Okay, so how does this all unfold throughout the year? Well, the first 6 months are all about building on that positive momentum that started in late 2025. And this is not a slow start. It is a period of active, joyful expansion.
So during this first half, the source points to a buzzing social life. Friendships are becoming a huge source of joy. Income from your career, it just keeps going up. You're going to want to pay special attention to the period after mid-March. It's flagged for some really significant career opportunities. And for anyone looking for love, this is a prime time for a new, beautiful connection to just blossom. On top of all that, expect positive turns in family and maybe even some old legal matters.
Now, if the first half of the year is about building momentum, the second half is about hitting the accelerator. Starting in June, the forecast predicts a major energetic boost, especially in the most foundational areas of your life, your home and your career. The real key here is the focus on your domestic life. The forecast predicts a surge of peace right in your home, along with excellent progress on anything to do with property, your house, or even getting a new car. It also flags some really positive developments concerning your mother. This whole period is marked by a deep sense of protection, as all that negativity just kind of dissolves, allowing for some profound financial and personal healing.
And just when you think the year can't possibly get any better, well, the final phase begins. From November onwards, the energy shifts dramatically toward your professional life, setting the stage for what the source calls a career zenith. I mean, wow.
This is the grand finale of the year. An intense focus on work is predicted to lead to a major promotion or elevation in your career, with your earnings getting yet another significant boost. This could also be a time of physical changes. Maybe you move, you renovate, you get a new office. Astrologically, this incredible period is being powered by Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion, moving through a key area of your chart, just bringing massive growth. And the best part? All of this is happening while you feel this deep, unshakable sense of inner peace and contentment.
So, the astrological forecast is, well, it's incredibly positive. But the source material doesn't just lay this out as a future you sit back and wait for. It actually offers clear advice on how you can be an active co-creator of this magnificent year.
So here's the game plan, the practical advice on how to harness all this energy. Step 1, actively work on raising your consciousness. Step 2, commit to cleansing your energy of all that old baggage. Step 3 is all about wielding the creative power of your thoughts and your words. And finally, step 4 is to use astrology itself not as a passive prediction, but as a strategic map to help you navigate these amazing, favorable winds.
And this really brings us to the final thought. After a decade of tough lessons, 2026 is being presented as a year of just immense potential and reward. The stars may be aligning, but the power to build your future, that is ultimately in your hands. So the question isn't just what will happen to you, but what are you most excited to make happen? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.